Hi, this lesson is about genetically modified organism or GMOs presented by Tipon-Tipon IVR to Dr. Elenita G. Cuenca. The objective of this lesson is defining and describing genetically modified organism. And second is identifying and evaluating the ethics and implications of GMOs and potential future impacts on human health and society. The slide summary are: first is the nature and characteristics of GMOs. Second is how are GMO food being produced. And the third is the advantage and disadvantage the GMOs bring to humans. And the last is example of foodstuffs which are genetically modified. So I am IVR Tipon Tipon, the presenter of this video. So the first we discuss is about the nature and the characteristics of GMOs. GMO produced through genetic technologies have a part of everyday life, entering into society through agriculture, medicine, research, and environment management. GMOs are organisms that have their characteristics changed through modification of their DNA. Animals, plants, and microbes whose DNA has been altered through genetic engineering techniques. Genetically modified animals are mainly used for research purposes, while genetically modified plants are commonly used for today's food supply. If GMO are common in today's food supply, so let's tackle how are genetically modified food being processed. Genetically modified food or GM food produced from organisms that have had change introduced into their DNA using the method of genetic engineering. Genetic engineering techniques allow for the introduction of new traits. So the third we discuss is about the advantage and disadvantage of GMOs brings to human. So the advantage of GMOs brings to human first is it allows for more profit. GMOs are an effective way to provide a farmer a larger profit while making them spend less time on resources. Second is it is economically efficient because GMOs are designed to resist pests. And the third is it is known to decrease the food prices. Advanced crops and lower costs can lead to cheaper food. This will certainly help families who cannot afford to buy their needed supply for everyday consumption, so the starvation will be prevented. So the disadvantage that GMOs brings to human are: the first is it sparks concern on the changing field of agriculture. The process of making GMOs include adding new genetic materials into organisms' genome. Agricultural ecology, this means introducing new genes on genomes like corn. Research on the effect of cultivation of GMO crops in a large scale has a sparked various concerns, especially those idea in economy with GMO strain has a proven by certain studies GMO strains have a potential to change agriculture. So second is it can damage the environment. Genetically modified crops can cause a threat to the environment due to the fact that they are not natural way to plant and cultivated plants. So the last is the negative effect to human health. So this could be result in differences in nutritional content, allergic responses, or undesired side effects such as toxicity, organ damage, and gene transfer. So the last we tackle is an example of foodstuff which are genetically modified. First is rice. Rice is a staple food nearly half the world's population. There are currently no varieties of genetically modified approved for human consumption. So golden rice is being developed here in Philippines for the population of developing countries. Second is papayas. Papaya tree were flanked by ring spot of the virus which disseminated nearly the half of the crops in United States. And the third is milk. Milk has a recombinant bovine growth hormone, is a GE variation on a natural occurring hormones injected to dairy cow to increase milk production. The last is corn. The Philippines is the first country in Southeast Asia to approve the commercial cultivation of a genetically modified crops for feed and food. The crops present a practical and ecological sustainable solution.